Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am focusing on vanilla. This video is going to be all about vanilla. If you love to smell like vanilla, if you love vanilla scents in general, this is the video for you. So pretty much every single one of the perfumes that I'm going to be talking about today have a very prominent note of vanilla. I gravitate to vanilla scents a lot. I know it's not all, but most of my fragrances have a vanilla note. It's just in some fragrances, the vanilla is more pronounced. Sometimes it's just kind of like an added note that goes with the other notes, but that vanilla won't be like the main thing that you smell out of that perfume, whereas every single one of the perfumes that I'm going to share with you today have a super prominent note of vanilla. These perfumes pretty much just straight up smell like vanilla, and I kind of organize them into three categories. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on just plain vanilla, gourmand vanilla, I guess more simple vanillas, not too complex, because I know some people do like just a vanilla scent and nothing more to it. Then I have some more spicy oriental vanillas, because I know some people do like the more complex, more sophisticated. You still want to smell like vanilla, but you don't want to smell like you just rubbed vanilla extract out of your cupboard on your skin. Even though, believe me, I love that because I just love just the smell of vanilla. But I do have some for those of you that want a little bit more complexity to your scents. And then the last category is tropical vanillas. So still have very prominent notes of vanilla to them, but have that like beachy, summery, vacation, tropical vibe to them. So those are the three categories that I'm going to be focusing on. Now, of course, I feel like I don't even need to say this at this point because I feel like I mention it in every single one of my videos, but I feel like a big theme on my channel is affordable perfumes and just affordability in general. So of course, in this video, I have a mixture of high-end to very, very low-end, like literally under $15 perfumes. I'm going to be showing you a total of 16 perfumes in this video. So with all that being said, please subscribe to my channel if you have not already and turn your post notifications on, and let's get straight into this video. First category we're going to focus on is just strict vanillas. You just want to smell like vanilla, nothing else. You'd like to smell sweet, you like to smell like a snack, you like to smell edible, gourmand. These are the scents for you. The first one is one of my all-time favorite vanilla scents. When I discovered this, I made a whole video about it. It's on my channel if you want to go and check that one out. This is Vanilla Sky by Skylar. Not only is it... That would be my fridge. This perfume is so intoxicating. It's so sweet. There is a very prominent cappuccino note in here, which mixes with that vanilla, creating like a latte sort of a vibe, like a very milky, creamy vanilla scent. I wouldn't say that this smells like coffee, because considering there is a cappuccino note, I guess you would kind of think that it would kind of give you that vibe. To be honest, this doesn't really smell like coffee to me. It just smells like such a warm, fluffy vanilla scent, and that cappuccino note just adds a creamy vibe to it. I guess there is a hint of a coffee scent in here, but it's like super sweet to the point where you wouldn't even pinpoint it as a coffee note. I mean, it's not a coffee note, it's cappuccino, but you know what I mean. Along with that vanilla, you get some spices in here, but I didn't put it in the spice category because this is not a spicy vanilla to me. This is just a gourmand, warm, creamy, sweet, fluffy type of vanilla scent. There's a cinnamon spice in here. There's a bit of sandalwood, some cedar, and amber. I really don't get the woody notes in here. I just get a very creamy vanilla, like I said, very cappuccino-esque. If you just love to smell warm and delicious, like you just want to smell edible, this is the scent that you need to go for. So this is Vanilla Sky by Skylar. Next up for the straight vanilla category, it doesn't get any more basic than this because this is literally called Vanille and it's by Solinotes. You could pick this up at Target and I think it's like $20 if I'm not mistaken. This is for those of you that you just want to smell like vanilla and nothing else. You don't want any other notes interfering with that scent, changing it up a bit, nothing. You just like to smell straight up like the vanilla extract that is in your cupboard, and that's exactly what you're going to smell out of this. This is the most true vanilla scent that I have ever discovered, but while also not smelling insanely synthetic. I don't think this smells like the most expensive thing in the world because, I mean, it's so simple. There's not really much of that complexity in here where you're like, oh my god, that's unique. It gives off like an expensive vibe. This neither smells cheap or expensive. It just smells like what it smells like. And also because it is so simple, this has a lot of potential in the mixing game. You can pretty much mix this with literally every perfume known to man, as long as you want that perfume to have more of a vanilla note. That's actually why this whole Solinotes perfume brand was created, because they have a bunch of perfumes that have like singular notes in them with the purpose of you mixing them and kind of creating your own perfume, so you kind of become the perfumer. If let's say you have a perfume where you don't really love it because maybe it's not giving you that sweetness that you like, add this in and it might change your mind. There's no other way for me to explain this other than this is like vanilla ice cream, a vanilla cake. It's so sweet, it's so warm and inviting. I used to wear this at work when I used to work at Target. Obviously we had little testers of all of these perfumes out. I used to always spray on me, and every single time I would spray it, I would get a flock of people coming to me and be like, you smell so good, you smell so sweet, and they would ask me what I would be, and I would literally go and like point out the fragrance that I just put on. It was just like a magnet. I feel like every time I would spray it out, somebody would come out of somewhere and ask me what I just sprayed on, because it just fills up the whole area that you're in, and it has really good projection, surprisingly. I wouldn't say it's the most long-lasting thing in the world, but it's small. You could throw this in your bag, reapply throughout the day, and you're gonna be smelling like a vanilla cake. So if that's your vibe, definitely check out Vanille by Solinotes. Okay, next up, this is a little bit different from that scent that I just showed you, because this one has a lot more complexity to it, and that is Hypnotic Poison by Dior. I know this scent is not going to be for everybody because it's a lot, okay? Like, it's a lot to handle. I would say more than anything, in my eyes, this is a vanilla perfume, and it smells very gourmand and edible, but this is thick. Like, she is thick. You really can only get away. I mean, I guess you could wear this in the summer. You gotta like pick the right occasion though, but you could knock somebody out with this perfume if you overspray it, if you just overdo it, if you pick the wrong occasion. It can be too much very, very fast, but if done right, this is a beautiful, intoxicating, sexy perfume. I feel like the bottle kind of gives you that vibe, and that's really what it is. This perfume has kind of gotten a bad rep sometimes. I feel like I'm only saying the negatives about this, but we'll get to the positives. I just want to kind of give you guys everything, and you can obviously make your decision on if you like the scent or not. But with the scent, I have heard a lot of people say that this smells like Play-Doh. Personally, I actually really like the smell of Play-Doh. Okay, it like reminds me of my childhood and just happy memories, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to smell like Play-Doh. And I mean, okay, like there's a vibe of Play-Doh in here, but you're not gonna smell like Play-Doh when you spray this out. Like I said, this perfume is very complex, and in the notes you're gonna find a lot more than just vanilla, but I think that vanilla kind of rounds everything up. It's almost like hugging all of the other notes, and I feel like you can't really pinpoint any of the other notes in here as much as you do that vanilla, which is why I decided to include it in this video, because I do consider this a vanilla scent more than anything. There's some coconut in here, plum, you get a couple florals, you get almonds mixed in with that vanilla, so it gives off like that really creamy vibe, a bit of sandalwood. It's just so sweet and warm and inviting, and it's the perfect fall and winter scent. Absolutely perfect. Like I said, if you are going to wear this in the summer, definitely pick the right occasion. You are definitely not going to want to wear this on like the hottest day of summer. You're going to knock yourself out and everybody around you. It's just, it can be a lot. Just go and maybe test this out. I wouldn't say this is the safest blind buy, especially if you don't like stronger scents. But because it is so strong, that also comes with really good projection and really good longevity. This stuff will last you days. So that is Hypnotic Poison by Dior. My next simple vanilla, but this is not so simple. It's complex and it's sexy, and that is Vanilla Bourbon. This is also from Target. You could also find this for 20 bucks. It smells exactly like what the name is. This is a sweet, warm vanilla, but with kind of like a boozy bourbon like vibe to it, which adds a lot of sexiness to this scent. And again, this is another one of those perfumes that can borderline lean on like the more spicy perfumes category that I'm going to show, but I feel like those perfumes are a little bit more spicy than this one is. This does kind of open up with a black pepper note, so you do just initially get a tiny bit of spice, but not enough for me to actually categorize this in the spicy vanillas category, because I would say more than anything this is a vanilla ambery bourbon kind of boozy vanilla. It almost kind of gives off a little bit of like a smoky vibe. And if you guys tried out Bonfire Bash from Bath and Body Works, you are for sure going to love this scent, because it definitely reminds me of that scent, and that's a really good mixing combination. So if you have the two, put them together, they're gonna complement each other very well. So yeah, that is Vanilla Bourbon by Mix Bar, and you could find this at Target. Okay, the next perfume I have, this is a new discovery for me. I literally just hauled this in one of my most recent hauls, and I have fallen so in love with it. I have worn it at least 2 to 3 times since that video, and I literally filmed that video like 3 or 4 days ago, and I've worn this so much. And this is none other than Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues. I got recommended this for the longest time, but the only reason why I strayed away from it for the longest time was because people were saying that it's very similar to Kayali's Vanilla 28, which I had a pretty bad experience with. I personally found it very mature for me, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. I have a whole video basically explaining why I didn't like it, but this is just the better version of Vanilla 28. That's what I wished Vanilla 28 to smell like, and it's this. In this fragrance, I can smell a pretty much equal mixture of pear and vanilla, but that pear is a very realistic non-synthetic pear, and it's mixed in with that vanilla, creating such a true vanilla note, but almost with like a tad bit freshness. This is the least cloying of a vanilla scent ever. I definitely know that vanilla can come off very cloying at times. It can get a lot, but this is not. You could overspray this, and I feel like it just never becomes too much. It never becomes cloying. It never weighs you down. A lot of vanilla scents are mainly kind of geared to, sometimes, not always, but a lot of heavy vanilla scents are geared more so for the fall and winter time because they're so heavy and thick. This, you could wear this all year round. I feel like it's so fitting for literally any type of occasion. You can wear this during the day, you can wear this at night. It's a very versatile scent. You can wear it to breakfast, you can wear it to dinner. It just goes with everything. You could literally wear this lounging around in your house. It's not too fancy, but it's also not boring, if that makes any sense. The vanilla in here is also accompanied by caramel and amber, so in the base you get those 3 notes, which give it a really nice creamy vanilla vibe. But I think that pear equally shines in here for me, at least. I pretty much always am getting like almost a tangy scent to it. It's really hard to explain, but this is such a beautiful vanilla scent. It's woody, it's intoxicating, it's sweet, but it never gets too much, and it's amazing. It's a signature worthy scent. It's a scent that you pick up and wear and you don't have to think twice about it. So that is the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. Okay, the next scent kind of honestly goes hand in hand with Vanilla Woods, but while this one is the more versatile version, and you could wear this at any time, any age, no matter who you are, like I almost feel like this could be unisex, not because it smells masculine at all, but because it is so simple, like a simple vanilla scent. Anybody can smell like vanilla. This next scent, this is the more bougie, high-end, mature, I guess, sister or maybe even the aunt of Vanilla Woods. This is La Belle by Jean Paul Gaultier. This is such a beautiful scent, and of course it had to be in this video because the composition of this is very simple, and you get vanilla as one of the main notes in here, accompanied by vetiver and pear, which is why I said it goes hand in hand with Vanilla Woods, which also has that pear note. But in here, that vetiver really gives this a completely different vibe. It gives this more of a sexiness, or I guess more of a sultriness, and just more of a complexity that Vanilla Woods kind of lacks because it is so simple. And again, I'm not saying that to knock this fragrance. Like I said, I love it, but this is just more in every aspect. This smells like a sweet pear pie, but with also a green earthy note to it. And that is obviously the vetiver doing that. So I feel like without that vetiver, this would honestly be this pretty much. But that vetiver gives this such a unique quality to it. And I definitely think that vetiver is really like what makes this. I'm not always the biggest fan of vetiver. I think sometimes it can give fragrances too much of an earthy feel, and here it's done so well, and it just mixes with the vanilla and pear. It just kind of elevates the vanilla and pear. It doesn't necessarily smell like vetiver or super earthy or even dirty or anything like that. It's just a beautiful scent. I think the bottle says it all. It's a beautiful feminine vanillic type of scent, but it's just more like a dinner type of scent, a fancy occasion type of scent, you know. Although you could wear this literally anywhere and even in your house, this is not something that you're gonna wear to just lounge around. Like, she is talking sexiness. This should be worn for like a date night and things like that. That kind of occasion is what this kind of calls for. So that is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Belle. And then the last fragrance for the category of the basic vanillas, even though a lot of these were not basic at all, but this right here is Juicy Couture Gold Couture. This is more of a caramel perfume, but to me this equally smells so much like vanilla as it does caramel. It's like an equal mixture of caramel and vanilla. There's really no DNA to any of the other Viva La Juicies or Juicy Couture fragrances. For me at least, in this perfume, this just smells like a caramelly, sweet, all around sweet. I mean, it's coming from Juicy Couture, you know it's gonna be sweet. Not the most mature thing out there, but I do find this very, very sexy, and it just smells like caramel, dulce de leche, but vanillic at the same time, like super vanilla, which is why I had to include it in this video. Jeremy fragrance, I always say that every time I talk about this fragrance, but it was literally the reason why I bought this. And I think the reason why a lot of people have bought this perfume is because he hyped it up as being one of the most sexiest perfumes ever for women. So that's why I'm including this in this video. It's very sweet and has a very prominent note of vanilla and caramel. Next up, let's talk about the more complex, sultry, spicy, almost oriental vibe type of vanillas that just have that unique factor more to them. They're gonna be vanilla scents overall, but they also equally have a complexity to them, a spiciness, a more unique, even mature kind of vibe than the straight up vanillas, more simple type of vanillas that I just showed you. So the first perfume in this category, I definitely have to give it out to the Bilie Eilish perfume. So this perfume is so beautiful. If you love vanilla scents, you need to get this, is all I can say. There is like almost a waxy note in here. I don't know how to describe it, but it almost reminds me of like a vanilla candle. And that, I know that doesn't really sound like the best, like I don't want to smell like a candle, but I don't know, it just has like a little bit of waxiness to it, and I don't really know what I'm getting that from. But this is a very spicy vanilla. This is the least of the spicy vanilla category. Like, this is, although it has a ton of spices in here, you have actual spicy notes, cacao, woody notes. It has a lot of spiciness, but I think this is the sweetest and least spicy of the spicy vanilla category. This just smells so sweet and very edible, but with a lot of sexiness, and I think that is all coming from the spicy notes. There's also amber in here, there's tonka bean, a little bit of musk, and a lot of woodsy notes in the dry down that are accompanying that vanilla note. There's also just a straight up sugar note, so you can only imagine how sweet this fragrance is. I highly recommend this if you are a vanilla lover. I don't think any vanilla lover can really dislike this fragrance. I've heard some bad reviews on this, people saying that it smells cheap. I don't think it smells cheap. I really enjoy this. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. It's a lot of vanilla, like a lot of vanilla, and like I said, it kind of has like that waxy vibe. It's really hard to explain, but I had to include this because I find this like a really delicious vanilla perfume overall, and I'm obsessed with this packaging. I think this is one of the best packaging for perfumes that I have in my entire perfume collection. So it's just, I mean, wow, this perfume bottle is everything. So that is the Bilie Eilish perfume. I think this is just called Eilish. So yeah, next up I have to give it to one of my all-time favorite spicy oriental vanillas. I was about to say Jimmy Choo. This is definitely not Jimmy Choo. This is YSL Manifesto. None other than YSL Manifesto. I am just so obsessed with this perfume. I cannot get over it. A perfume that actually smells very similar to me is Dolce & Gabbana Parfum Intense, the intense version, which has like marshmallows in it and some really delicious notes. I would have included that in this video, but it would be like including the same perfume because in my opinion, they both smell exactly the same. I just wanted to include this because I know I've talked about this perfume a lot, but I just cannot get over how good this perfume is. This smells like a $700 perfume. I don't even know. When you wear this, you will smell like money. It's a very mature oriental vanilla. This is not gonna be for the vanilla lovers that like the gourmand, cakey, foodie, sweets, sugary type of scents. This has so much complexity to it. It has a mature vibe, but in a really sexy, sultry, intoxicating, seductive way. You get some blackcurrant in the opening of this, which also comes with a lot of like bergamot and some green notes. So it kind of starts off almost a little tart, but quickly you get a little bit of that jasmine sambac, and then you get the base of the vanilla mixed with the tonka bean and a little bit of sandalwood and cedar, which kind of gives us like a woody, spicy vanilla vibe. This smells very oriental, very unique to me, and honestly it smells so much more expensive than how much this is, which I mean, it's a designer scent, so it's not going to be the cheapest thing out there, but it is discontinued, so you can find it now for a little bit less than what it was at retail price, and I will be linking all of these perfumes down below. But this is just a staple in my collection. If I'm going out and I just want to smell so classic, sophisticated, but so sexy and sultry and intoxicating at the same time, this is the scent that I will go for. And every time I wear it, I always get people asking me what I'm wearing. So that is YSL Manifesto. Right. Next up, I have MAC Creme de Nude. This is a very spicy vanilla scent. It's very sexy. This is a vanilla, but it's also mixed with a lot of like almost leathery note. There is a suede note in here, which gives off that vibe. Almost gives off like a smoky vibe. It's the same type of scent that is in Givenchy's Haute Couture. I would say that sandalwood and suede note is kind of done in the same way that it is in that scent. And I am so head over heels in love with Haute Couture. It's one of the most ultimate sexy scents in my entire perfume collection, and this definitely gives me a vibe to that. The top notes in here are that Madagascar vanilla equally mixed with that suede note, which kind of gives us like a rugged feel, a sexy feel, not your basic vanilla type of scent. It reminds me a lot of Bath & Body Works Warm Vanilla Sugar, but this is more spicy, more elevated, and more mature, but it's kind of like in the same scent family as Warm Vanilla Sugar and even Haute Couture. But I think Haute Couture is a little bit sweeter in more of like a raspberry type of way, whereas this one has that vanilla. So like that's kind of like the difference. This is a beautiful vanilla scent ultimately, but it has a lot more going on to it. I just really wanted to include this in this video because it's such a sexy perfume that will definitely give you some attention. So that is MAC's Creme de Nude. And then the very last scent that I have for the spicy category is a scent I have not talked about in a minute. This is Roberto Cavalli. I think it's just like the original Roberto Cavalli perfume. It's a really beautiful perfume, and this perfume smells so much more high-end than it is. I found this for literally $16. Oh my god, it smells so good. I don't think I've sprayed this out for a while, literally since I bought it. Honestly, I have not given this the love that it deserves, and now I'm smelling it and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Because wow, this smells so good. It almost smells better than what I remember it smelling like when I first bought this. This smells like it could be a $300 niche perfume. This is a lot more simple than YSL Manifesto. but it still smells equally as expensive, if that makes any sense. It's so feminine. I don't really know how to even go about describing this perfume. This has pink pepper in the opening, which kind of gives it like that initial spicy feel, and then you get African orange flower and base notes of vanille, benzoin, and tonka bean. This is not a gourmand vanilla. This is a sophisticated but not too sophisticated, sexy, complex vanilla perfume. You will smell like money, but you're not gonna pay much to smell like money. I would picture like a CEO wearing this. It has such a classic vibe to it while equally being effortlessly sexy. Definitely a more going out scent. It's not a casual scent, but it's everything, and it's so inexpensive. It's almost a crime for how inexpensive that is. So that is just the original Roberto Cavalli perfume. And then for the very last category, let's get into the more tropical vanillas. So this category doesn't just mean like tropical as in like coconut. I think every time, at least me, I think every single time I say the word tropical, I imagine a scent that has a coconut note somewhere. I just always equate tropical to coconut, but that's not always the case. And honestly, with the exception of one, none of these perfumes really have coconut in them, but they give such a vacation, summer, tropical vibes. So let's start off with that perfume that does have coconut, and it's not even coconut. I think it's coconut water. This is Alien Goddess by Mugler, which, side note, let's just talk about RIP to Thierry Mugler. When I found that news, I was like, oh my god, he paved the way for the most beautiful, unique perfumes. I mean, whether you like the perfumes by Thierry Mugler or not, I don't think anybody can deny the fact that they are the most unique perfumes in the world. As you guys know, my all-time favorite perfume of life is Alien by Thierry Mugler, and I equally love a lot of the Angel Muses. I actually don't hate Angel. I think it's a beautiful scent. I just haven't been ballsy enough to actually purchase it, but I'm honestly thinking a lot about getting Angel because I really find the scent very, very beautiful. I've just been always really scared of that patchouli note, but I do think that at some point I will be having that in my collection. But I just wanted to mention that because when I saw the news of him passing away and he's no longer with us, I thought that that was just, it was just devastating. He is the king of perfumes, and that's all I'm gonna say. So RIP to Thierry Mugler. As we all know, Mugler is now bought from L'Oreal, so they're kind of having the control over the fragrances, and I'm not a fan of that. Let's just be real. I don't think a lot of people are, at least people that are true fans of Thierry Mugler's perfumes. As soon as they signed over to L'Oreal, I think they definitely lost that uniqueness, that complexity that was kind of the signature of that house, because now I feel like they're just more so appeal to the masses type of perfumes, and that is what this is. So I don't hate this by any means. It's just I'm such a huge fan of the original Alien that I was so hoping that this would smell like at least a hint of the original DNA in here, and it is not at all that. Now I think that's a good thing for some of you because I know a lot of people dislike Alien because of how out there it is. So for those of you that don't like Alien, this is perfect. But this is basically a tropical perfume. It has equal amounts of coconut water and a lot of vanilla, but vanilla done in a super tropical way. So this is a fragrance you bring with you to vacation. Definitely going to be like one of my most worn summer fragrances this summer, and I cannot wait. It's a really pretty scent, don't get me wrong, but it's not unique anymore, which is what I was expecting coming from this house. I'm only knocking the fact that this doesn't smell like Alien and it's an Alien flanker. I'm not knocking the fragrance. I think it's a pretty scent. There's coconut water in here and bergamot, so it opens up kind of fresh and almost kind of tangy, but then you get a little bit of jasmine, which obviously the main part of the original Alien is that jasmine note, but you can definitely smell it in the original, and here I don't really smell jasmine. And then bourbon vanilla and cashmere. The top two notes in here are kind of like that bourbon vanilla and equal parts of coconut water and bergamot. Like it's kind of tangy but very tropical and beachy. It's a pretty scent. I've gotten a lot of compliments on this scent. which just kind of goes to show it's very crowd pleasing. So if you're looking to get compliments, this is the scent to wear this summer. That is Alien Goddess by Mugler. Next up is a fragrance I've talked about a lot on my channel. This is the Kylie Jenner by KKW Nude Lips. This scent reminds me a lot of MAC Creme de Nude, but while this one is more leathery, more rugged, a little bit more smoky, this one has more of a creamy, beachy tropical vibe, which is why I included in the tropical category rather than the spicy category. So while this one does have spices in the top notes, they're not really that pronounced in here. And then you get solar notes in here, you get some pretty florals in the middle, and then you get that Tahitian vanilla and amber. So I would definitely say that this is more of a tropical scent. Now this is not like a beachy scent per se, but this is more like you're on vacation, you're getting ready to go out to dinner, this is what you smell. It gives off vacation vibes, like that kind of mindset, but it doesn't smell like the beach. It's kind of like the prettier version of MAC Creme de Nude, whereas this one's more dark and sexy, sultry. This is also very sexy, but in a prettier, more creamy type of way. So that is KKW and Kylie Jenner Nude Lips. This next scent is kind of fun, but I decided to throw this in because I actually really like this. And this was actually, fun fact, one of my very first perfumes in my perfume collection. Like when I first started, I literally had this perfume and I think Ariana Grande's Ari, and that was my perfume collection. But I wanted to add this because this is a vanilla scent, and it's a very pretty vanilla scent, and it gives off that tropical vibe. This is Pacifica's Island Vanilla. Oh, this scent brings back so many memories because I used to just wear this all the time. This almost could kind of go into the basic vanilla scents that just smell like vanilla and nothing else, but it is called Island Vanilla, and it does give me a bit of a tropical feel, not because it has coconut or anything really that stands out as being tropical, but it gives off vacation vibes, but it's just vanilla more so than anything. This has vanilla, white honey, tea, fruity notes, and jasmine, so I'm not really sure what in here gives off like a vacation vibe, but there's definitely an islandy type of scent to this. So I think Island Vanilla is definitely the perfect name for it. I really, really like this. Not the most complex, crazy, unique scent ever, but it's a pretty vanilla overall. So that is Pacifica's Island Vanilla. So the last two scents I'm going to kind of talk about together because they remind me a lot of one another, and this is Sol Cheirosa 62 by Sol de Janeiro. This is a beautiful scent. This is just so sexy. Vacation vibes, summer vibes. This literally smells like summer in a bottle. I know a lot of people own the Boom Boom Cream, and this smells exactly like the Boom Boom Cream or the body mist version of this. It all smells like that scent. It is just such a beautiful scent. I don't know how to describe this like at all. This has a lot of pistachio and almond, a lot of caramel, a lot of vanilla, some sandalwood, giving off like a woody vibe. You get some salt in here, which is what gives off, I think, that summery vibe. But really, there is no way for me to explain this. This is a scent that when you smell, you kind of attach your own memories to, because as soon as you smell this, you're gonna think of the summertime and just happy and good times. This is so beachy and so beautiful. As soon as it hits summer, this is all I will be wearing. I'm so obsessed with it. And the scent that I wanted to talk about interchangeably with that is Laura Mercier Eau Gourmand Ambre Vanille. So I wanted to talk about this because this to me smells so much like Cheirosa 62. This is way more creamy and definitely has more of a gourmand feel, whereas this one has more of a beachy, sexy type of feel, more of a perfumey type of scent. This one gives me almost a little bit of gourmand foodiness, I guess, but it's definitely in the same family, I think, as Sol. So that's why I wanted to include this, because this gives me equally a gourmand vibe while also being kind of beachy. And I think this reminds me of Sol because although Sol doesn't have a coconut, it has like a salty note, which I guess gives it that vacation vibe. This one actually has coconut in it, which is also then mixed by almond. So that kind of goes hand in hand with the almond that is in here. It's the same type of almond note that gives off like a beachy vibe. and then this also ends off on like a woody sort of vibe. So yeah, this reminds me a lot of it. Like I said, it's just like more of the gourmand creamy version of Sol. That's kind of the only difference, but I definitely wanted to include this because this is a beautiful vanilla scent overall. And I wanted to actually speak about the fact that I got this at TJ Maxx for like $20, and I've gotten comments ever since I've shown this scent of people asking me where I bought this for only $20, because I guess now it is online for like almost $70. People are like upcharging. It's really hard to find, I guess. So that's where I found mine. If you can look up and find it at your local Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and all these stores, then definitely pick it up. I will try to find the least expensive price that I can online of this, but I guess this has just skyrocketed in price. So yeah, that is Laura Mercier Ambre Vanille. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of requests to do this video because I know you guys are equally as obsessed with vanilla scents as I am. So I definitely wanted to put this video out for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your favorite vanilla scents, either that are strictly vanillas, spicy vanillas, whatever type of vanilla scent, basically like your most vanilla type of scents. Let me know in the comments, let everybody else know. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.